You are now watching Face to Face, live from the CSL studio. Your host, Nesta Cann.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Cann. And today we have a special guest in the studio. She goes by the name of Kerra.
Hi guys, good evening, good evening.
So what's new? What's she been up to? I can't keep up with you these days.
You know, just staying busy and trying to just impact the world one by one.
Mm-hmm. So tell us more about the whole movement you got going on. Caribbean Women Power.
Yes, Caribbean Women's Power Lunch.
Right.
This actually came about in early May, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was about early April. The first event was held in May in Toronto.
Okay.
The idea is really that I wanted to create a platform for Caribbean women to come together and support one another and just feel part of something that was bigger, because I find that there's just a lot of separation when it comes to women nowadays, and even more so within the Caribbean. And, you know, myself working in a male dominated industry, I also find that most of my friends are guys, most of my mentors are guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that as sisters, we should be supporting each other a little bit more. Right. So the idea behind the lunch is really just coming together and being part of a sisterhood, you know, feeling empowered, learning. So I always have a panelist of speakers that are from various industries. Yeah. So it could be beauty, it could be coaches, whatnot. But they kind of come together and just inspire through their journeys. So coming to the lunch really is about networking and feeling empowered, and just connecting on another level.
So how many people are involved? Just you, or you have?
So this is mine. This is Kerra Denel presents Caribbean Women's Power Lunch.
Yeah. So okay, that's cool. It's been long for how long now?
So May was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second was held in September in Toronto. So I did 2 in Toronto, and I just did one in December in Miami.
Yeah, I saw the one in Miami.
The one in Miami was absolutely amazing. Like, Toronto was great. Toronto's my city. I love the energy in Toronto, but there's just something about the warmth of Miami, literally, that blew me away. Like, Angela Hunt came to the event, and wow. I literally was borderline in tears, because I'm like, Angela Hunt is here at my event, because she's such an inspiration to me. So to have a powerhouse like that come and support and, you know, speak to everyone, it was beyond magical for me.
Wow. And as far as next year, you guys going to do the same thing, Toronto, Miami, or are you going to
branch
off?
So no, it's growing. So
it's
the
growing.
Idea behind it is that it's an international movement. So Trinidad and Tobago is next. Looking at doing England. I'm obviously going to go back to Toronto, and I want to bring it to New York as well. I just haven't figured out with my schedule where I can plug it in for New York.
Okay. And what is your background, by the way?
I'm Trinidadian.
Trinidadian?
Yeah.
Okay. Born and raised in Trinidad?
Born and raised. Left when I was 12, okay. 13.
Nice. Tell us more about KDE Entertainment. No.
So Kerra Denel Entertainment is my brand. Everything is entertainment. So I do talent management. Event management is my thing. I love doing events from start to finish. So the company itself offers event management services, talent management services. I also am a voiceover talent. So I offer services for commercials and radios and ads and that sort of thing. But the overall brand itself is an entertainment company.
Wow. Oh, it's a voiceovers. I know you're from Toronto. You know Roger Day?
Yes. You know, we all look up to Roger Day.
Are you managing any artists, DJs?
So currently I'm not, but you know, something's bubbling for 2019. See, I keep thinking it's 2018. It's a day before 2019. But yes, so I do a lot of work with different artists, so different capacities: marketing, PR, social media management, road management. But right now I'm currently not managing anyone specifically.
Yeah, because I know you're very good with a lot of the artists in the industry. So yeah, I know that's coming up next year. Well, next year. I keep saying this year, but
tomorrow, basically.
Tomorrow. How do you advertise your business?
I would say through social media. I think that social media is a very big platform.
Yes.
Especially for what we do, because we're able to connect to the masses in a more simpler form. So everything that I do is usually through social media, and then I'm a connector, so I network with a lot of people. Yeah. So I think that I always make it my business to always, not necessarily on a business level, but I love speaking to people and I love meeting new people. I'm always interested in finding out how I can help other people. Right. So a key part of my business has always been through networking.
Right. I was going to ask you where your headquarters and your office located, but you're always on the go. So I'm assuming that wherever you go,
that's where I work. And that's what's awesome is that, like, I literally could work anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I love being able to sit on a beach in Barbados, or, you know, I'm just chilling in St. Vincent and able to just pull out my laptop and work wherever I am. You know, I'm definitely blessed to have been able to have this passion and purpose just bubble inside of me and create a job, essentially, that I could work anywhere.
Yeah, I see that. Because 1 minute you're in Barbados and I see you St. Vincent. I'm like, Dad, she doesn't stay no more than 2 days or 1 day in one location. So
my office is out of my suitcase.
Yeah, must be an amazing feeling. So what are some of the goals that you're setting for your company for next year?
I want to be involved in more carnivals, even though I'm involved in a lot of
Seems
them.
like you're involved in everything right now.
All of the, you know, the random ones like the Rotterdam and the Berlin, you know, where a lot of people are not going to per se. I definitely, because my thing has always been helping enhance.
Right.
Because the carnivals is not just about working. Like, I consider myself to be a cultural ambassador. So anything that I'm involved in that's promoting the Caribbean, I want to see it done at its best.
Right.
So I would love to be able to be a part of those European carnivals and the carnivals that are now building to help kind of guide them, since I've been in the industry for a while doing that specifically and just kind of growing up in it. I would say definitely being more involved on a cultural level.
Right.
And then I love festivals. Like I said, events are my thing.
Yeah.
So I want to get involved more with festivals and so forth, and just continue to keep building, you know, work with more artists, work with more DJs, and just build my other businesses.
Yeah. So what would you say is unique about your business?
It's mine.
It's yours? And
you know, why is my business unique?
Yeah.
You know, I take pride in everything that I do. I mean, a lot of people will say that, but I put my all. This is my livelihood, this is my life, and this is my passion. So for me, it's more than just business. It's always about passion, and my purpose is always to be able to help others. Like, I say this in everything that I do, like from my nonprofit Kerra Loves Kids to the women's empowerment. Like, my goal in life is really to help as many people as possible in whatever capacity so that they could live better lives. So even if it's entertainment business based, you know, helping artists grow their brands, or, you know, just helping a woman who just wants to become an entrepreneur and doesn't know how to, like, it's always just for me just about ensuring that everyone is doing their best to be their best. So I think that's what makes me different. Like, I'm all in, like.
Yeah. And what would you say is some of the responsibilities of being a business owner? Owning your own business.
Well, I mean, every responsibility you could possibly think of.
Being
really.
on the grind.
Yeah, like literally. I used to work 9 to 5 in sales for years, and, you know, becoming an entrepreneur now, years later, I'm still doing, if not double the work that I did when I started out.
Right.
One thing as a business owner, you are always working. So as much as you have freedom is, you know, they say that when you give up your day job, freedom is yours. And yes, it is yours, but you're working twice as hard because you're now working for yourself. So you want to always maintain that, that level of, you know, success in everything.
Right.
So you're just pushing forward in every capacity. You're up at 2 a.m, you're up at 8 a.m, you're up at 11 o'clock at night, whatever time it calls for you to be doing work, you're doing work, you know? So I think that because, as I said, because it's yours, you're a lot more invested in the situation. So you just have a lot more responsibilities.
Right.
Really.
Now, you mentioned something a few minutes ago. I always ask people about helping out the community. I know you have the Kerra
Loves Kids.
Kerra Love Kids. I see you doing a lot with that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So Kerra Loves Kids is a nonprofit organization that was founded 4 years ago.
Nice.
Going on 5. It's based in Trinidad. So I do a lot of work with orphanages in Trinidad. I've done a couple other events like in Toronto. I've done a book drive in New York, but my focus has been giving back to home. So there are multiple orphanages in Trinidad where there's not a lot of government funding.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lack of interest in the children at the homes. Now, I am one person. I'm a one-woman team. And I just feel as though it's very important for me to give back time versus anything, because you can donate everything possible to a child, but that doesn't really mean anything to the child if you're not giving them love and spending time with them. I remember the first time I did an event was in 2014, and it was an orphanage in the east, in Tacarigua. There was about 60 kids there. One child was following me around for like the entire day. And she was like, Miss Kerra, she's like, I'm not trying to be a stalker or anything. She was about 15. She's like, but I just want to tell you on behalf of myself and the other kids that we appreciate you coming to spend time with us, because people don't like to spend time with us. They just like to give us stuff. And that broke my heart completely, because as a child, you feel, if you're in an orphanage, you feel as though you've done something wrong. Why am I here? Why am I not with my family? You know what I mean? Like, you essentially feel as though you're not loved. So as much as I am just one person trying to make a difference, and I may not be able to do it by giving them everything under the sun, I feel like my time contributing towards, their betterment means a lot.
Right.
So I put together these little like fun days, sports days, where myself and friends from Trinidad go down to the orphanage. We have games, we have tents, we have DJs, we have like prizes. I've done about 3 annual Christmas events where I've had Santa Claus come in the fire truck.
Wow.
And that sort of thing. But really and truly, it's just for me giving back my time to them, because time is time. People are fighting for time all the time in life, and if I can contribute that to them, I feel like I can definitely make some form of impact.
Yeah, I saw something. You had like a big event. It was like in Trinidad, it was in a big open air.
Yes,
kids
so
there.
that
you had,
was
you had
last
an artist
December.
there as well too.
Yeah,
Was it Lyrical?
No, I'm trying to remember who it was that came by, because every year they get involved.
Yeah.
Like, they donate. That's like, I love the boys and the girls for that. Like, everyone supports the initiative,
Yeah.
and they come together, even if they can't physically be in Trinidad during the time.
Yeah.
The artists in the industry and the DJs, they all contribute in some
Nice.
manner towards helping the cause, But I think that it's very important for everyone to always just try to, just be a little bit more kind and focus on really just giving back, because especially with the children, they're the future leaders.
Right.
And they need our guidance. We're living in a society now that's semi-corrupted. I hate to say that, but like, there's just a lot of negative going on. So I feel like we as individuals need to take like a bigger effort towards just giving back to our communities, because this is what we're part of.
Right.
Like they say, it takes a village to raise someone. You know what I mean? It takes a village to raise a child. So in this day and age, we need to come together more. If there's a little bit more love, there's just so much more life.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I applaud you for that. I see that, and I was like, wow, yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, I was inspired by my grandmother. She passed away. God rest her. May she rest in peace. She passed away about 5 years ago, and she was just a pillar in the community in the sense that she didn't really have much, but she always took in kids. Like, kids would go to her house. She, excuse me, she would literally, thank you. She would literally just have kids come to her door, like they want food, they want this, and she would take them in. And my grandmother didn't come from a lot, but she always gave, you know what I mean? And that's why I say that you don't necessarily have to have much to be able to give to somebody else. It takes nothing for you to be kind to someone else in any capacity. It doesn't have to be financial. You could say something kind. You can give someone a hug. It takes absolutely nothing to be kind. And you never realize how much that affects someone else. Like, that can positively affect someone on such a drastic scale. And it's so small for you to do, So.
Right. If you had one piece of advice to give someone who's just starting up their own business, who's just getting into the business, trying to be an entrepreneur, what advice would you give them?
I have so much advice. What advice? What would be my main thing? Let me think. So, as an entrepreneur, when I started out,
because a lot of people who want to quit the 9-to-5s
Yeah.
and want to branch off and do their own thing.
right. So it's definitely a scary transition.
Yeah.
I would say that. For me, it wasn't as bad because I've always kind of just done my own thing outside of my 9-to-5 job.
Right.
But for those that are out there that are looking to transition, I'm not going to sell you a loo and tell you that it's going to be easy breezy and you're just going to give up your job. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And if you believe, I always say that if there's a burning feeling inside of you for something, so let's say, Tom works 9-to-5 in sales, but, music drives him, and that's where his heart is, and that's where he feels connected to life. Like, take the step towards that, but I would say prepare yourself for that. So I don't want anybody going broke. I don't want anybody just giving up their 9-to-5 and saying, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, and then, set yourself up. So know that, especially if you have a family, because as much as it's great to be on your own and work for yourself,
right.
you have to also ensure that, that you're stable,
right.
because you don't want to be living on the street while you're trying to pursue your dreams. So I would say make sure that you are stable in some capacity, and then start writing it down. Write down the things that you want to do. Write down the things that it will take to get to where you want to go, and write down the goals as to, where you want to be. That would be the first thing. And then the second thing would be, do not ever, 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 ever let fear stop you from what you want to do. If I ever allowed fear to convince me to not do something, I would not be here today. Kerra Denel Entertainment would not exist. Kerra Loves Kids, Caribbean Women's Power Lunch, none of these things. One thing that I've always done is I have gone after everything that I've envisioned, I've gone after. Because I've always had the mentality, what's the worst that can happen if I fail? I can go back to a 9-to-5 job. I can go back, I can find something else to do, you know what I mean? So if you really believe in something and if you're passionate about something, I would say give it your all. But just know that becoming an entrepreneur is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of long nights. It's a lot of no sleep. It's a lot of headaches. It's a lot of no's. But if you stay consistent and you work hard at it every single day, I promise you, you will be where you want to be.
You hear that, everybody? That's a bit of advice from Kerra Denel, telling you how to become an entrepreneur, not to be scared. I think a lot of people are scared to make that first step, you know?
You know, it's the comfort zone thing.
Yeah, right.
We all go through it. We go through in relationships. We go through in friendships, you know, and it makes sense. You are accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle, and it scares you to want to step out of that because you don't know what's on the other side of that door.
Right.
But, you know, if you want to live out your best life and you want to live out that dream, you have to take the step.
Right.
Like, you have to take the step. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You know, I think that's the mentality that people really need to adapt to. Like, we live in a society that you can find a job. You may not necessarily find a job that you're happy about, but that can carry you over to the next step of you figuring out, okay, this failed this time. How do I fix this so that it works the next time? Because if it's inside of you, God instills this in you, okay? He puts this passion for whatever it may be in you because he believes that you can do it. You know, it doesn't just arise from nowhere. It doesn't just come like the feeling that you have inside you. Trust and believe that God puts that, he instills that in you. And he will give you all of the tools that you need, but you need to believe in yourself and you need to take action. He will never just give you anything and say, here. You have to take action for everything that you want to have. And your path will be guided. I promise you guys that. I promise you that.
So check this out. I'm going to put you in the hot seat a little bit here.
Gosh.
Nothing too crazy. So the first thing that comes to mind, answer rapid fire, okay? You ready? Since you go to all the carnivals, you've traveled a lot. You've been all over the world. Best carnival you've been to with the most vibes?
Trinidad. Now, I'm a little biased.
You sound like Spice. As soon as I asked Spice that, he said Trinidad real quick.
I'm a little biased. Okay, so I'll do top 3. So, because people are going to say she's Trini, so, you know, that is not fair.
All right, so do top 3.
But Trinidad and Tobago, hands down. I mean, we are the mecca of carnival, really.
Okay.
I would say Notting Hill Carnival in London.
Right.
Amazing carnival, especially because it's so diverse.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, you don't expect to see the masses that you see there.
Right.
But it's just an amazing thing to see all of these different people come together and just connect as one. You know, like in the Caribbean, it's a lot of Caribbean people and so forth. But to see Europeans in the streets just jamming their faces off.
Even
like,
some people who don't know about the music, understand the music.
They're just going off of beats and vibes, you know? So it's truly an amazing thing. And then I would say I've always been skeptical about Jamaica because I've always felt like Jamaica is right after Trinidad. Everybody from Trinidad is going to be in Jamaica. So I'm not going to experience a real authentic Jamaican carnival because it's going to be all the Trinis.
Yeah.
I went to Jamaica for the first time this year, and I was with Jamaica. And I must say that Jamaica Carnival is lit. Like, if that's the word that young people are using, it is like lit.
Yeah.
I had a time. And what I really enjoyed about Jamaica was that Jamaica, I love reggae. I love soca, but I love reggae.
Right.
So Jamaica Carnival has a great balance of, you know, the raw Jamaica and then the carnival aspect. So like I would go to Tribe Ice. And then after that, I would go to like Mojito Monday. So I was balancing out all of my events. I was doing a Trini party and I was doing a Jamaican party. Or I was doing a local Jamaican party and like, you know, a Bayesian party or whatever. But I made sure that every day I attended a Jamaican event that was thrown by a Jamaican promoter that was just, you know, raw Jamaica. And I loved it. So I would say Trinidad, Jamaica, Notting Hill, and of course, crop over. We got to throw crop over in there.
All right, since you put Trinidad on top of the list, when you're in Trinidad, give me the 3 fets with the most vibes.
Okay, Soca Brainwash.
Big up to Private Ryan on outside.
Yes, big up the homie. I would say Soca Brainwash and Beach House. Beach House because, you know, Beach House food gets me every single year.
Yeah.
And there's so many. Okay, I have to take a second because there's so many events going on.
Top 3.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So you got to add one more.
Suits boat ride.
Suits
boat ride on Saturday morning before Ryan's event. Epic boat ride. So I would say those are my top 3.
Best band on the road. I know it's coming.
A lot of people might get mad. There's so many different ones.
Yeah.
But I've played with Tribe for years, so
Okay.
I've never had. There's absolutely no negative. So costume distribution, everything is just very smooth with them. Everything is flowing on the road. It's a good vibe. So I would.
You've always been with Tribe?
For most of my years, I played with Tribe. I've played with Yuma before.
Because there are a lot of bands that were branched off.
Into different ones.
Right.
Yeah. So I played with Yuma. I played with Carnival Rogue this year, which is still a part of Tribe.
Okay.
Had a great time. Big up Jules from Caesar's Army. But Tribe. I would say Tribe.
Favorite Caribbean dish?
This is really random, but it's dal rice and smoked herring.
Oh, wow.
People are going to be like, what? My granny used to make it for me all the time.
Yeah.
So I grew up eating that, and it reminds me of her. There's a nostalgic feeling behind eating it. So.
Oh, nice. And last but not least, out of all the places you've been in the world, there's got to be one place that, like, you didn't have a lot of expectations, but it shocked you. It was so beautiful.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
St. Vincent and
What
the
was that, this
Grenadines.
year?
So I've actually been to St. Vincent 6 times in a year.
Okay.
Which was last year, so 2017 into 2018. I did not know what to expect going there. Like so Skinny Fabulous and I are really good friends, and he's always telling me, he's from this small island, come check it out. Because I've been to most of the other islands that the rest of our friends and colleagues live.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't really want to go to St. Vincent. Like, what does St. Vincent have,
Right.
And not knowing that they actually have 32 islands. That was the first thing that I was educated about. And I was very skeptical about it. So decided to jump on a plane for New Year's 2 years ago and said I was going down. I fell in love with St. Vincent, not only because I'm a huge beach baby.
Yeah.
The water is like amazing,
Wow.
especially going to like Mustique and like the other smaller islands.
Yeah,
it's
I've heard about
it's
those,
absolutely gorgeous, but the people reminded me a lot of how Trinidad used to be when we were growing up,
Right.
where people were like extra hospitable, extra warm. Like, there's a lot that has changed over the years in Trinidad with crime and stuff. So people are not necessarily the same as they used to be. People are just more cautious as to who they speak to and so forth. But St. Vincent just has this warm, natural energy.
Yeah.
Like, I literally went there that one trip, and by the time I came back the second time, they were like, we might as well just call Ralph and get you a passport. Like, we should just call the governor and just, get you a passport. Because everyone knew me. Everyone welcomed me. They were like, come eat here and, come to this event and da-da-da. And, like, they're just such beautiful people. So I was really shocked by it. And, I mean, it makes sense. Like, the people that I know from St. Vincent are very warm people, very awesome people,
Right.
very for each other.
Yeah.
So it was shocking, but it was like a beautiful shock because
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. So like I said, I've been there about 6 times in a year or so. I've spent 2 New Years there. I was supposed to go this year and then opted to come to New York to be here.
Yeah.
But I would definitely suggest visiting St. Vincent. The food is great, and it's such a nice small place that, like I said, you feel at home. You may go there for 3 days, and by the end of the 3 days, the guy at the gas station, the guy selling pork at the corner of the road, the man by the beach who's selling beers, like, everybody. So St. Vincent, I just went on.
Did they finally finish the other airport over there?
They did. So now they have international flights coming in
Yeah.
to Argyle Airport. Big up Argyle Airport.
'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of people wanted to go to St. Vincent for years. Oh man, the airport and the situation, because
Yeah, so
flights.
now they have flights going down. So actually tomorrow they have a huge event going on. Neeks, Tita, and Karen are doing. Neeks is Rigo's manager from
Right.
here. So it's called Climax. They have a huge cooler party. Like the first time I went to this event, they were like, yeah, we're having a cooler party. So I'm thinking, a couple hundred people. There's about 5,000 people in this cooler party. And I'm like, I know Noah Power is down there. They brought Willie Chin last year. Like, the event was crazy. And again, not something that I would have expected for this small island,
Right,
So I'm
right.
really upset that I'm missing out tomorrow, but I'm going to have to be
Yeah.
back next year for sure.
All right. So before we go, of course, you have to let people know how to get in contact with you: Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all that stuff, websites, everything.
All right.
How can you get in
So,
contact?
well,
Non-profit organization. You got so many things, so many links going on. So
okay. So the main one, which has everything, is my website. So KerraDenel.com. That's KerraDenel.com. Same thing for my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So at Kerra Denel. But once you go onto my website, you'll be able to find Kerra Loves Kids.
Right.
If you're checking for the women's empowerment, there is an Instagram page at Caribbean WPL. But Kerra Denel, you know, if you put me on the internet, you'll find me.
find you, yeah.
And you know, whoever's listening, like I said, I'm all about helping others. So if you guys want to reach out to me and you have a question or you want to find out something about being an entrepreneur or just advice or just want to connect, like I'm here, I'm the easiest person to find, and I'll definitely reply to any message that I receive. So.
Right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by and keep doing everything that you're doing, all the positive things you're doing. You know, keep traveling, inspiring people, because a lot of people are like, wow, you know, like, I got to be like this woman, you know.
And
she's
it's
very
not
powerful.
easy, guys.
It's not,
Just don't, you know, a lot of people come to me and say, yo, you're always in every carnival and you're always traveling.
Yeah. See, they just see the outside.
Exactly.
But they don't see what you had to do.
They don't see my 5 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning every
right.
night, even at this day and at this stage. Like every night I go to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning. Like I'm
Yeah,
always working,
right.
you know. So just like I said, my parting words would be believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and just stay consistent, work hard, and just know that anything that you want, you can get. You just need to go after it.
There you go. The words of Kerra Denel. That wraps up another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Cann. Take care and God bless.
Bye.